This comment said, homegirl is visibly uncomfortable, bruh. Let's go down, look, see what other people had to say after that. This comment is stated, homegirl is visibly uncomfortable, but she was comfortable enough to dress like that in public. Make it make sense.
Angel Reese just badly explodes after Chicago Sky got hit with total chaos. And obviously, when her star continued to rise, so did the noise around her, and not all of it. Was Applause Chicago, the team everyone once admired, is now a shadow of its former self, all thanks to Angel Reese.
She don't want to be sexualized. Angel Reese has said time and time again, she never wanted to be sexualized. But look at the stuff you wear, bruh.
First, there was Teresa Weatherspoon, a legend who had to pack her bags and walk away because the steroid allegations hanging over her head were enough to make Teresa say, "Nope, not for me." How could anyone blame her, right? Who wants to stick around in the middle of all that drama?
Can't teach that. I'm gonna go out and do whatever it takes to win, and every single night, my teammates rely on my energy. So being able to continue the energy, even if we're down, even if we're up, that's what I do.
And then there's Kennedy Carter, a rising star, but guess what? She saw the writing on the wall and decided the league wasn't the place for her anymore. Angel had the talent, the future, but just a little extra cash turned her skills into dust. Chicago was on top, but now you can watch it see her crumble under the weight of ego, drama, and bad decisions.
But I'm assuming that wasn't the topic. She just seemed to be uncomfortable with him because he's telling the truth.
Since the downfall of Chicago, we've all felt the emptiness. The team that once gave us hope, now a shadow of what it was, leaving us questioning if we'll ever see that fire again. Let's be real, this is the point where fans start scratching their heads, wondering if this is all part of her legacy. After all, why build a career on talent when you can have people talking about anything else but that?
What a year. I never could have imagined last bucket of my rookie season would be a 3. But maybe God's saying give them a taste of what they'll be seeing more of in year 2. LOL.
It all started with an outfit, a pair of shorts, and a crow top that left many shaking their heads in disappointment. Angel Reese, once celebrated for her tenacity and unrelenting drive on the basketball court, seemed to veer off course with a choice that didn't align with the role model she had become for countless young athletes. The disappointment wasn't just in her choice, it was in the missed opportunity to stand tall, to remind the world that her value was in her skill, her passion, and her undeniable presence as a leader in women's basketball. And naturally, the world didn't hold back. Comments poured in from every corner, accusing her of dressing and disrespecting the sport.
Who has a new weekly podcast called Unapologetically Angel. Because I would have been like, how naive can you be? But she is young. She's only 22. And the reality is the scrutiny that she's been subjected to is inexcusable, it's egregious, it's disgusting, it's wrong.
The disappointment ran deep as supporters who had cheered her every step of the way now questioned her judgment. This wasn't the Angel Reese they had come to admire. She had become a beacon of hope in women's sports, a symbol of breaking barriers and shattering stereotypes. Seeing her make a choice that invited scrutiny and overshadowed her accomplishments felt like watching a hero falter.
No one's coming out to see crazy-ass Angel Reese unless they want to see her at a nightclub shaking her ass.
The disappointment only deepened as the whispers started, accusations that cut deeper than the debate over her wardrobe. Angel Reese, renowned for her physical prowess and tenacity on the basketball court, found herself at the center of baseless accusations. Trolls pinged for any way to diminish her success began throwing around the term steroids, questioning the authenticity of her achievements.
Angel Reese, you can't beat a big bad wolf, but then kind of cry like Courage the Cowardly Dog. Nobody mourns when the villain catches an L. And Angel Reese, you have self-proclaimed to be...
People began to question her performance on the court, not for lack of skill, but because of her undeniable dominance. Trolls began insinuating that her success wasn't natural, that perhaps her strength and endurance had a darker explanation. She's got to be on something. Read one particularly vicious comment: her physique, her stamina, her relentless energy. They were no longer celebrated, but scrutinized, dissected, and doubted.
Hot water after he made some strong comments about Angel Reese. Guys, this story is crazy.
The end. How could they not be when someone shines so brightly? It's natural to question whether it's the light of hard work or the artificial glow of something more sinister. Reese had always been an extraordinary athlete, but now her achievements were Being tainted by these allegations, people wanted answers. Was it dedication or was it steroids? It's a bitter pill to swallow, seeing someone who was once the pride of the game now mired in such rumors. For those who believed in her, who cheered for her, the accusations felt like a betrayal of trust.
Angel Reese told her lonely male followers, hating pays too. Translation, I need attention. Translation, I need money. Translation, nothing about me is authentic. Translation, I cannot be a star on my own.
The rivalry with Caitlin Clark only added fuel to the fire. Clark, often described as the golden girl of basketball, stood in stark contrast to Reese. Where Clark was seen as composed and hardworking, Reese was painted as brash and attention-seeking. It wasn't just a clash of styles on the court, it became a clash of values. Fans of Clark didn't hesitate to pile on using the controversies surrounding Reese to highlight their favorites' supposed superiority. She could learn a thing or two from Caitlin. Someone tweeted, "You don't see her out here trying to make headlines for the wrong reasons." The comparisons were relentless, and while they weren't entirely fair, they struck a chord. Reese, who once seemed unstoppable, now appeared distracted, caught up in the drama rather than the game. The focus had shifted from her talent to her choices, and that was perhaps the biggest tragedy of all.
She's dropping new episodes to her podcast, Unapologetically Angel, and yet again, she's using Caitlin Clark's name for clicks.
The most shocking turn, however, came with the wild speculation about her future. Critics, emboldened by the controversies, began suggesting that Reese was heading down a path far removed from basketball. Comments veered into cruel territory, with some claiming she was transforming into a figure better suited for adult entertainment than professional sports. She's one step away from OnlyFans. One comment read, another sneered, might as well quit basketball and start modeling. It's clearly where she's heading. These remarks were beyond harsh. They were devastating, yet when you look at the choices she's made, it's hard not to wonder if there's a kernel of truth in the exaggeration. Her focus seems to have shifted, and not in a way that aligns with her role as an athlete and a leader. Instead of inspiring conversations about her skills, she is igniting debates about decency and professionalism. What happened to the Angel Reese who let her game do the talking?
I've been through so much. I've seen so much. I've been attacked so many times.
It's heartbreaking to watch. Reese was poised to be a trailblazer, someone who not only excelled in her sport, but also elevated it. Instead, she's become a lightning rod for controversy, and much of it feels self-inflicted. Her actions, whether it's the provocative clothing, the rumors of performance enhancement, or the constant need to be in the spotlight, send a message that talent alone isn't enough. And that's a shame, because her talent is undeniable. For her fans, this is more than disappointing. It's infuriating how many young athletes have the opportunity. Reese has how many would kill for the platform she's been given, and yet it feels like she's squandering it, trading respect for notoriety, substance for spectacle. People wanted to see her shine on the court, to be remembered as one of the greats. Now they're left wondering if she'll be remembered at all, or if she'll just be another cautionary tale. The worst part is the ripple effect. Reese's actions don't just affect her, they affect everyone who looks up to her. Everyone who believed in her. Young girls who once saw her as a role model now see someone who seems more concerned with her image than her impact. Parents who pointed to her as an example of hard work and perseverance are left scrambling for explanations. And the sport of basketball, which needs figures like Reese to grow and thrive, takes another hit in the battle for respect and equality. Angel Reese could have been so much more. She could have been the player who changed the game, the leader who inspired a generation. Instead, she's become a source of controversy and disappointment. It's not too late for her to turn things around, but the question is, does she want to? Or has she already decided that being talked about, no matter the reason, is enough? The fall of a star is never easy to watch, especially when that star had all the potential to redefine her sport and inspire millions. Angel Reese wasn't just a basketball player, she was a symbol of hope, resilience, and achievement. But somewhere along the way, that narrative shifted. Now, instead of being celebrated for her incredible talent, she's the subject of whispers, rumors, and outright disdain, much of it stemming from choices that feel like betrayals to those who once looked up to her. When Reese first stepped into the spotlight, she brought with her a sense of pride and determination. She wasn't just playing the game, she was owning it. Her dominance on the court was undeniable, and her fiery personality was a refreshing Change in a sport that desperately needed its stars to shine brighter. But then came the missteps, the decisions that turned admiration into disappointment. It's one thing to be confident and unapologetic. It's another to let that confidence blur the line between empowerment and poor judgment. Take her controversial outfit on Wild and Out, for instance. In a world where athletes are constantly under the microscope, every decision matters. Reese knew she was a public figure, someone whose actions and appearance would be scrutinized, yet she chose to wear something that, while harmless in isolation, became the spark for a wildfire of criticism. It wasn't just about the clothes, it was about what they represented to many. It felt like she was trading her hard-earned respect for fleeting attention, and that's the heartbreaking part. Angel Reese doesn't need gimmicks. She has the talent, the platform, and the potential to inspire through her actions alone, so why choose to step into a storm she could have easily avoided?